All right, so exams are coming up, the circulars are out, the students were informed in the classroom. PT1 is coming from 5th. So is it a time to panic, or what exactly happens when we say it's a periodic exam and not the final exam? So what is this difference between periodic test, half yearly exam, or the final exam? Is it just about marks? Is it just about 20 marks in periodic and 60 or 80 marks in the final exam? What exactly do we mean? How the system has been designed? Let's understand a basic difference between assessment and evaluation. So when we say assessment, it is more of formative, which means that it is for learning, to improvise learning, to take the students to the next level. So here, when we assess the child, when we take their PT exams, we are trying to find out what exactly is working. How much is the child able to retain those information? Are the child be able to apply that knowledge? Or to an extent, we reflect on our teaching and learning process and make the necessary changes. Is my teaching methodology going fine? Or there has to be some tweak to done to it. So that is where assessment really helps us. So assessment is an ongoing process. So the way it has been derived is that somebody next to you, right, sitting next to you and observing what you are doing, what, and also trying to help you or assess you by telling that there is a mistake here and how to rectify that. So that is all about assessment, wherein we are not judging anyone. We are only looking at the learning and also how the learning can be improvised. So that was all about assessment. Coming to evaluation. So evaluation is not a devil. It is not a difficult thing to crack. Evaluation is simple, that you are judging your student or a child or anybody for that matter against a set standard. So, for example, if it's a CBSE board, a grade 3 student needs to know these many things when the child passes out. That is a set standard a board has kept. Now, what you are doing is, or what rather the school does is, it evaluates, it examines, it judges the child against those set patterns or those set standards, and that is evaluation. Okay, so it is not just about 20 marks, 60 marks, how much, which grade. It is not about that. One is formative for improvising the learning, whereas the other one is to judge at the end of the course or the end of the year. So I hope that is pretty much clear. Let me walk you through the chart, which is going to tell you differentiate between assessment and evaluation. I'm sure we all have written those 2 mark differentiate between the two things in our own examinations. So starting with the meaning, as we can see, assessment is the process of collecting, reviewing, analyzing the data. So what we do at the back end is, it is like, this time we are going to use test modes. So it is going to be more of MCQs. You will have a pattern of essay or summative questions or some of the descriptive answers that the child would be asked to write. But it is to improve the current performance. Where are we lagging? What are the changes in the teaching methodology? What we have to do, or what the child has to do, has to be done. So it's kind of a feedback mechanism, and that is your PT, that is your assessment. When we talk about evaluation, it's at the end of the semester or end of the year, which is to set an agenda, set a judgment about a basic standard. Where do we stand in terms of all the fellow people around us and the set standards by the national body? Now, it is diagnostic, which means that the more we take those PTs, the more formative assessments we take, the more class tests that we take, it is going to help to improvise the system. Okay, so there is no pressure. Whenever there is assessment or a PT, we need not panic, we need not take attention. The more it is, the better it is. Okay, coming to judgmental, yes, this time we really need to see how much we have learned throughout the year and what are we going to do that. So that is little a little pressure game there, and also you're fighting with the set standards, so it's very much comparative or competitive, we can say, but you're competing with your own self and not with your neighbor or your classmate or anybody. And that is also a reason why ranking has been stopped in schools. Coming to performance based feedback, areas of improvement, these all are things are required, because at the end of the year I cannot tell you that your child has failed or this is the standards and the child is not matching. What have we been doing for the entire year? And that is where assessments are going to help us. So as parents, just see to it that the children are appearing for the assessments, the PT exams, and the way they are going to approach it, how much information or how much knowledge are they able to apply, right? So it is not about mugging up, it is not about writing the right spellings, but their understanding, their concept understanding, and how much they have understood and learned in this time of online sessions. So I hope it's very clear what is an assessment and an evaluation. All right, so all the best to all the children out there and also the parents. So don't panic, but just look, just assess somebody next to them and just see how are they doing and how can we improvise the system. All right, so that's what I wanted to convey. Thank you very much.